Lupin says he's been looking forward to this moment. He wanted you to come here and see for yourself where it all started. He was so little when your mother and kin came here to put an end to his mother just because she was different, a hunter. That night, the hunter became the hunted, trapped with nowhere to run. He says your mother showed no mercy, only vengeance. He can see that you're not like your mother. There's something different about you. Maybe you would have made a better decision than she did, and let them be. They orphaned him, left him alone, an outcast and a freak. Lupin says he's been reliving the moment every night since then. He says your mother and her disciples started something that couldn't be undone. They created the monster he would become. He knew his time would come, and he was patient. So, when he got news about your birth, he knew how to get revenge that would last. That's why he spared you that night he raised the village when you were a child. He wanted you to suffer for life, like he had. He marked you for life, so he'd recognize you when you met again, and you'd eventually remember where you came from. His hunger grew insatiable over the years to come. He tried, but being vegetarian wasn't in his nature, and he couldn't go hungry. But he's never taken a life for the sake of appetite. It's always been about survival, and that our true self is being who we are. A deep look into nature will make you understand everything better, and that natural selection eliminates, and the strongest survive. Fate is for those too weak to determine their own destiny, and now the time has come for you to accept yours. low on health. You don't get to wander below ground like this every day. Out of Date says there'll be consequences of the war, but there are more pressing matters at hand. The last World Eater has been left undisturbed with the tree while you focused on the war. He thought someone with your light perspective and key would have had different priorities and faced the World Eaters before resolving the tribe war. Regardless, Out of Date is grateful the tribe war is over. Out of Date understands the road has been rough, but you already know what's left to end this journey, and it'll be tough. You're the only one that's strong enough to face the last World Eater. The future depends on someone with a light perspective to give the world a chance to survive. Only time will tell what the future holds, and if it will bring a lasting peace for those that make it to the end. Out of Date says the word about what you've done so far is spreading. The tribes haven't lost hope yet. He appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's had urgent news from his friend Wiz in the northwest. He's unsure about your intentions, but hopes you'll support Wiz. He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Wiz and making sure he gets what he needs is up to you. That doesn't sound good. Out of Date's hunch is real. The Merc Puff is up next. Out of Date says that Wiz is worried now that the Northwest World Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Wiz is working on an undersurf vessel in order to get to the World Eater, but needs help to get it done. Out of Date suggests that you should head northwest as fast as possible and see what you can do to help. He's happy to help.
Taimis.
Wonders who thinks up these mechanical things.
Kuchai. Hifar befarb.
Says you're welcome back.
Loma tuaha.
He guesses you're back for more.
Toledrea ya maoloa.
Says you're welcome back. Don't hug your mount. It's not your friend. The SURGESURF factory. Keep your eye out for Wiz while you're here. Let's see. Beast. Toxanol's mining led to mass deforestation and increased global warming, as nature couldn't absorb the carbon dioxide and greenhouse gas emissions without the trees. These irreversible changes to the climate also contributed to the evolution and modified our genetic code. Wuz isn't easy on the tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days. Says it's good to see you again. He's Wiz. You might remember him from the old days when he let you try his octopod? Wiz remembers you were such a cheery kid, and he's glad to see that light hasn't faded from you, despite the years. But Wiz understands it was a long time ago, and memories get murkier the deeper you go, but says it helps to have friends with you to plumb those depths. He set up camp at the foot of the Tree of Life. It's gotten more difficult for it to find defenseless prey, as it's already eaten most of them. Wiz says our memory keeps things for us, preserves them until we are ready to face them again. He knows you've returned to face Lupa Lupin, and that confrontation is as inevitable as the tides. He's not surprised that the loss of your family could plunge you into the depths forever, but you've always been able to rise like a bubble to the surface, no matter what. He knows that though the tides of history may push you in one direction, you can always lay your own course. He feels you've deserved revenge because of how you were wronged. You've suffered enough to make him pay.
Embrace the dark, and it will embrace you, too.
Doesn't that make you want to shudder?
Yes, with delight. Oh, the dark feels so good.
I'll be over here.
No hugs for you.
Veo palam uskos.
Asks if you ever think about freedom and whether any of us really has it. Did you make the decisions that brought you here, or are you...
Non antica urvaya unara.
Maybe that's true for you, but he's not so sure about his own fate.
Non antica urvaya unara.
Amazed the world is going to continue on, but happy to hear it. Still so many things to invent.
Pala compiav perukan.
Impressed that you fought so hard to keep the world spinning.
Ne antumpo nigarapu.
Thinks you were smart to join with the Myriad. They have a rainbow of ways to approach any problem.
Nan,
Thinks that kind of diversity brings strength.
nan.
But that's not nearly as important as this.
Non pantale impali kantafu.
Wiz says that you should let the past dwell in the depths. But there's something else down there too, gnawing at the Tree of Life. He's named it the Merc Puff. This is why he's tinker-tonkering with the octopod. But the lid got stuck, so he needs a big enough tug twister to open it up and let you a-go-in.
Mu.
He can't leave the surge station, so you must help him find a tug twister. There's a wound-up mecha fingro in the mecha stadium that still has one stuck on its back. Find it, and you'll find the tug twister.
Nen kanabam katal.
It's definitely made to lend a helping hand and do the heavy lifting. Toxanol records mention it as an automaton made for moving bionucleus matter into storage areas. There's no time to look back. Look at the notices on that board. No one paid much attention to them, it looks like. Wiz should be around here somewhere, probably taking care of his guppos. A SURGESURF factory was one of the cleaner ways to make power, until the surf turned into goo and clogged it all up, that is. The power comes from turning the movement of the surf into surge sparks. Sometimes science is beyond belief. There are sure to be more tracks around here, maybe by the shore. Check out that e-waste. That's a good find. Impressed you found that, despite all the goo. This place has held power for a long time. In many ways, it still does. That would require cleaning up all the goo. Glad you found that track. There's a lot to learn about this world, both here and beyond. The plague that's ruining the land needs to be stopped. Blasting everything to bits. Tap hard. You're bruised. Itchy trigger finger. Watch for trouble. Could come from any corner. Youch! You're half dead. Cracker. Head on. You're hurt bad. Kaboom! Hot metal. can't be too many days like this left at the rate the world is ending. We're all heroes of our own stories, or so we hope. Found some e-waste? Worthwhile. Don't want to point a finger, but the Mecha Stadium is near here. It's a game of life, yours and everyone else's. Switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. When a story comes to you, pay attention. You need to loosen the bolts without unsettling it. That's it. The tug twister's loose. Let's hope it turned the grabbing hand into a helping hand, too.
Mike?
He believed the tug twister would do the trick, but now realizes brute force won't do the trick. You need something slick.
Menya fair.
Well, he means slick as in greasy, so you can lube the hinges of the lid. He can't argue against the fact your fur's shiny.
Irrelevante Wache.
He says the lid should open if you sprinkle grease it. Problem is, he's all out.
Irrelevante Wache.
He knows his old friend Choo Choo always keeps his grease sprinklers well filled. He should have an extra that you can borrow.
Non antica urvaya unara.
He stresses that you should come back as soon as you've retrieved the grease sprinkler. The Merc Puff is crunching bark by the minute.
Irrelevante Wache.
Wiz heard he's currently stranded at the end of the line, so it should be easier to track him down now compared to when he's running rails. For sleep.
Basa to kunto pa.
Let's see.
Kambasa pete pata.
Choo-Choo knew you would make it to him one day. All you had to do was follow the steel path. The rails might be getting rusty, but eventually they all converge on him.
Kung pata.
Claims rails are like rules. If you follow them the way you're supposed to, everything good in life can roll your way.
Koi.
Says you followed the rails to where you need to be, but tracks have switches in them too. The question is then, will you keep on the same track, or look for a way to hit that switch?
Ko zitaba.
You seem like you're on the right track already. He just hopes you don't get sidetracked onto a darker path.
So dokuto.
Whichever way you go, he wants you to know that the rails never steer you wrong. Stick to them, and they always bring you right to where you're meant to be.
Koyaba.
Wants to know if you've ever regretted taking one track in life instead of another. If you could go back, would you switch tracks or keep chugging along the one you're on?
Karimata zupa.
Likes your sureness, the way you keep at it like a chug-chug with no way to reverse.
Koyaba.
Seems like the world came out of its rut and is chugging toward higher ground again.
Ta.
Can't thank you enough for hitting the brakes and working to turn the world chug around.
No kasaba.
But let's not get derailed.
Ta.
Says he's surprised to see anyone this far out, but sometimes the wrong train does take you to the right station.
Paramalo.
As you can see, he didn't plan to make a stop here, but now that he had to, he's really happy to see you. He says his name is Choo-Choo.
Kado.
He's been off track since the world started dying, but he's trained his mind to stay positive regardless of the situation. Says sometimes life runs off the rails, but it's always better when they're good and greased.
Ko zitaba.
He's convinced the tracks are like the paths our lives take, and you must deal with the outcome, even if you didn't lay them yourself.
Ko zitaba.
This time, though, he was sidetracked and needs a new wing nut to get back on track.
Pampatisma.
Wing nuts are easy to find, as they're fitted on any in-front chugger-chugger out there. The challenge is taking them off, so he's happy you're here to do it for him.
Malap.
Says there's nothing to it. Just don't let the chugger chug you down.
Oh, that's so dark. Any darker and it'll be hard to see.
But think of all the beauty you'll never see.
Yeah, sight's overrated. Turn things up. Play life loud.
I prefer the quiet, too.
Then you should stay that way. Shut your mouth.
The Wing Nut Chug Tunnel. It goes on forever. Doom. I don't think you could make a home here. Life is a difficult game, no matter how you play it.